This air source heat pump is the Panasonic Aquarea High Performance K series. It's a refrigerant split type unit and it connects to an all-in-one integrated tank. So the integrated tank in our scenario is installed in our building for demonstration purposes and for product information sharing with you guys. But this K series is live connected to the all-in-one. The all-in-one has a 185 litre tank, hot water tank inside it, and then behind the panel we've also got all the hydraulics inside the all-in-one. So for maintenance it is great. But this video is purposely sort of made for the electricians that are interested in wiring these. How are these wired? So now this is the K series, but the L series is wired very similarly too. And the L series also is in anthracite grey and pairs with the all-in-one. Both options, as an alternative, they can pair with the Panasonic Aquarea bi-block unit, which is a wall-mounted bi-block that has all the hydraulics inside that, and then you'd have a normal hot water cylinder, which would be the Panasonic Aquarea 200 litre or 300 litre tank. But for wiring, they are both pretty much the same. So when we give you the schematics, you would have the suggested fuse sizes, depending on which model you were using. It would also have the suggested cable sizes. So whether it be twin and earth, it would say sort of 1.5mm cores or something like that. So you'd have all the specifications you would need, and then also you'd have a colour diagram of how the wiring is, right from the consumer unit to your schematic rotary isolation switches into the all-in-one, and then the interconnecting cable from the all-in-one, all the bi-block, into the outdoor unit. So, to take it from the consumer unit, you would have two fuses. So, the two fuses, one would be for power supply 1 inside the all-in-one. The other would be for power supply 2 inside the all-in-one. Now, from your two fuses, you'd probably run something like, just as a suggestion, hypothetically, it might be 6mm twin and earth into two schematic rotary isolation switches. So if this was in the plant room, for example, you may have your two schematics wall mounted close to the all-in-one. So you would run your two lots of twin and earth into your two schematic rotary isolation switches, and then from the rotary isolation switches, you would then maybe use, hypothetically, I like to use the HO7RNF, just like many other installation companies and electricians. So HO7RNF from power supply 1 isolator into the breaker on to power 1. It's labelled power 1 behind it, and I will do another video just structured for that. And then from power supply 2, that would wire in, and that's the power for the backup heater that's built inside here. So depending which model was chosen for the project, it could be that there's the 3 kilowatt inside there, which is the one we've got, or the 6 kilowatts. So the idea of that, having power 2 wired for the backup heater, is that in the event of a technical breakdown with the heat pump, the client or homeowner can use the backup heater to do the heating and hot water in most instances until the matter's resolved. And that will do the heating and hot water. Fantastic. So now, very simply, you've put two fuses on your consumer unit bus bar, two lots of twin and earth, for example, 6mm, into two rotary isolation switches. From the two rotary isolation switches, you've ran your two cables to your two breakers. That is your power supplies in, done. Now, from the all-in-one, there's a third terminal which is for your 4-core now. So you've got your live, your neutral, your earth, and your comms. So that will typically be a 4mm 4-core, and those cores will be like 1.5mm. So 4mm 4-core, and that would come from that terminal then to the outdoor unit. Now, if you wanted another means of isolation outside, your 4-core would come from that all-in-one into the schematic, so it would power the schematic, And then from the SCARMI rotary isolation switch, you run your HO7 RNF 4mm forecourt into the 4 terminals behind this panel here. And that's the wiring. You've now made your 2 power supplies, you've powered the unit, you've powered the backup heater, and now you've interconnected your forecourt, so now you've powered the outdoor unit. Whether you've put another isolator there or not, it's only daisy chained in essentially, isn't it? So that is the wiring of these. The network adapter, it houses behind here, but it's also plugged in just into CNT on the circuit board. So electricians, you couldn't be any more confident. You've got all the schematics, you've got the technical support, whether it be for a site visit or over the phone, and then also you've got your sort of installation sort of wiring diagrams that we give you. So really you can have peace of mind that these really aren't super scary to wire. They're very, very, very straightforward. So if you've got any questions, please get in touch. We're more than happy to help. But this video is just purposely structured for the electricians who are looking into how do I wire the Panasonic Aquarea K series. It's wired very, very differently to the old J series. These are just so much more. So as I said, the K series and the L series are very, very similarly wired. Both different units, but very similar to wire. You'll still need 2 supplies, your power supplies, and you'll still need that forecourt connecting cable. So, I hope that's helped you. But please get in touch if you've got any questions. Thanks for watching.